Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today what we are focusing on is we are focusing on counting coins. That's kind of our big I can statement today. I can count coins. And we're going to go ahead and put in the word accurately. That means that we're not only going to be able to count the coins, accurately means we're going to count them correctly. Alright. So to start out, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start out by talking about the different types of coins. We're going to go ahead and talk about 4 types of coins. Our first type of coin is the penny. And the penny we know is 1 cent. Now, an easy way to understand what a penny is understanding the pictures on the penny. So coming down here, this is a picture of our president, Abraham Lincoln. Abe Lincoln is on the penny. All right? Now, if you flip the penny over on the back side, you're going to notice this. You're going to notice this building right here. In this building, this is called the Lincoln Memorial. This is called the Lincoln Memorial, and in the Lincoln Memorial is a building in Washington D.C. And if you look close enough, there's actually a picture of Abraham Lincoln inside of it. So, the Lincoln Memorial, Abraham Lincoln is on the penny. So that's our first one, okay? Again, the penny is worth 1 cent. Now we come up to our next one, and this is our nickel. A nickel is worth 5 cents. Now a nickel is very easy to get confused with another coin that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the president on this one. The president on this one is a guy named Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson was our 3rd president, and you're going to notice that he has kind of, it looks like, a big turtleneck. This is actually a collar. But I want you to understand he has this big turtleneck, and I want you to notice that he is facing towards the left. All right. Something else about the Jefferson's nickel, if you turn it over, if you flip the nickel over on the other side, you're going to notice that there's a building. It looks very different than what was on the Lincoln penny. This building is called Monticello. Now, Monticello was the name of the mansion that Thomas Jefferson built for himself. Thomas Jefferson actually built a mansion for himself, and he called it Monticello. So it would make sense that Monticello is on a coin that has Thomas Jefferson on it. So again, Thomas Jefferson, his nickel is worth 5 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's talk about our dime. Our dime is worth 10 cents. The dime is really easy because the dime is actually the tiniest coin out of all 4 of them we're going to talk about. It's the tiniest of all 4 that we are going to talk about today. Now, on our dime is the name, the guy who's on our dime is called Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt was our president, was our 32nd president. He was our number 32. And he was president during World War II. So all those stories you hear about World War II, that's when Franklin Roosevelt was the president. Now, Franklin Roosevelt, you notice again, is staring to the left. And on the other side of it, instead of having a building, he has a picture of some plants and a torch. And also, you notice on the other side, it says 1 dime, so that's kind of easy to remember. So, Franklin Roosevelt's on a dime, and that's worth 10 cents. Our last coin that we're going to talk about today is the quarter. Everyone knows the quarter. The quarter is worth 25 cents. The quarter is worth 25 cents. On the picture of our quarter is George Washington. Now, earlier I said that the nickel is a coin that's easy to get confused with another coin. That would be with the quarter. The quarter, ladies and gentlemen, the quarter looks a lot like the nickel and is close to the same size as the nickel, but here are some differences. The first thing is notice that George Washington does not have a turtleneck on. He does not have the turtleneck. His whole neck is bare. So that's an easy way to remember that. The second thing is on every quarter, he even says the word quarter. In fact, it's called a quarter because it's a $quarter. That means it's worth 25 cents. If you take 4 of those 25 cents, you would get $1. Okay? That's for another time. If you flip over the quarter, a lot of times you'll see the bald eagle. But the cool thing about a quarter is a lot of times if you flip it over, there'll be different state quarters, meaning they'll have different pictures, they'll have different things about our state on the quarter as well. Like if I flipped over the Ohio quarter, again, here's the side, here's a picture of George Washington right there again. Look, he has no turtleneck, so his neck is bare. I flip over the Ohio quarter, instead of being the bald eagle, which we see a lot of times, we actually have a picture of the state of Ohio. Ohio, it says 1803, that means that's when Ohio became a state. You have a picture of the Wright brothers plane, because the Wright brothers lived in Dayton, Ohio, and they were the first ones to have basically to create a plane. And also there's a picture of this astronaut here. Of course, we should know that as Neil Armstrong. Okay, first man to walk on the moon. He's from Wapak, Ohio, Wapakoneta. So also you're going to notice it says birthplace of aviation pioneers. That basically means Ohio was a place for flight, where aviation means flight, where flight came from. And that references the Wright brothers plane. So that's an example of an Ohio quarter, and that's what I'm talking about with quarters flipped over. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at our coins compared to each other. Okay, here you have our quarter, which again is 25 cents. Here's a picture of George Washington. Again, notice his neck is bare. And here's the eagle. We have our dime, which is 10 cents. There's Franklin Roosevelt. Again, there's a picture of the flame and the different plants. Again, here's the one that is really easy to mistake with a quarter. That's the nickel, and that's 5 cents. Again, look at the size of the quarter compared to the size of the nickel. Very, very similar, but the big difference here that I want you to notice, I want you to notice that he has that collar on. He has that turtleneck on. George Washington does not. So that's an easy way to remember about the nickel. And again, if you flip it over, the nickel on the other side, that's a picture of Monticello. That's his mansion. And finally, we have Abe Lincoln's penny, and the penny is easy. And another easy way to understand it's a penny is look how everybody on the silver coins are looking towards the left. Abe Lincoln is actually looking towards the right, and we know that that equals 1 cent. All right, and of course on this side we have the Lincoln Memorial, the Lincoln Monument. All right, so now, with that being said, with that information being said, let's go ahead and apply that to some knowledge that we're going to need to know. You need to go ahead and get this paper out that says the Snack Shack. You need to pause this video to get this out. Go ahead and do that. Now, with this paper in front of you, what we're going to work on is we're going to go ahead and work on looking at what different amounts, different types of items cost. We have cookie, cupcake, brownie, pretzel, pudding cup, and banana. And you're going to notice right here we have some coin amounts right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the information that we know. Remember, a quarter equals 25 cents. A dime equals 10 cents, a nickel equals 5 cents, and a penny equals 1 cent. We're going to go ahead and figure out how much money this is, and then we're going to figure out what type of menu item we can buy from it. So let's start out with our quarter. Now, here's what I want you to do whenever we're trying to do money right now. I want you actually to put the money amount inside. Like right here, we know that's a quarter because of Washington's bare neck. So we know that's 25 cents. But let's look at this coin right here. Well, we can see that there are plants and a torch in there, so we know that that has to be 10 cents because that's our dime. And then if you look at these coins right here, these two are the same. They have that interesting monument in the back, and we know that's the Lincoln Monument or Lincoln Memorial. So we're going to go ahead and put 1 cent for that because Lincoln's 1 cent. And of course, there's another picture. Notice that Lincoln is looking that way to the right, so we know that's also 1 cent. So now what we have to do is we have to go ahead and add these amounts to each other. So we always want to start with the highest amount. The highest amount is 25 cents. So let's start with 25. Okay, now if I need to go ahead and use the paper over here, I can do that. 25 plus 10 plus, well, we know there's 1, 2, 3, so we can just go ahead and put 3 right there. So let's figure out what that is. 5 plus 3 is 8. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is 38 cents right here. So now what we have to do is we have to look up here and see which one of these things equals 38 cents. If you looked close enough, you'd see that it's a cupcake. So we're going to go ahead and put cupcake because this is 38 cents right here and a cupcake costs 38 cents. Let's try one more together. Let's look at these right here. Notice the bare neck. And of course, at any time if you're getting behind, just go ahead and pause the video. Look at the bare neck. We know with that bare neck, it has to be the quarter. Plus, it's pretty much the biggest coin there is. So let's go ahead and put 25 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents. Okay? Now, we have this next one. Notice that that neck is not there, so that plus it's smaller, so that has to be our nickel. Put 5 cents there for our nickel. So now we have 25, 25, 25, 5. Here's something I want you to get used to when talking about quarters. For quarters, you can either have 25, 50, 75, or 100. Those are the only choices you could have when we talk about quarters. Well, here we have 1, 2, 3 quarters. I have my first quarter, my second quarter, my third quarter. Oh, my third quarter, so that means I have 75 cents right there. So 75, I'm going to go ahead and use that over here. And I know I have plus 5. 80 cents. So now I got to look at that 80. I got to figure out which one of these things up here costs 80 cents. And I see that it is the brownie. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here is your assignment to do. I want you to go ahead and do number 3 and 4 on your own, and we're going to go ahead and check over that. Okay, when you're done with that, you can go ahead and do extra math, you can do AR, those are your possibilities, no kiddios. Alright, thank you for staying with me, and I'll talk to you later.